Hey, what's up, fam? What's good, y'all? So this is gonna be a special video. My buddy here, Skyler. Say what's up, Skyler.
What's up?
So this is his toolbox tour. He got a U.S. General and he got a Snap-on right here. But we're gonna go through the U.S. General first, right?
Yep.
All right. So hey, it's all on you.
All right. This box I bought just about almost 2 years ago, and I bought it off the Mack truck. Bad decision. Don't get on those trucks when you're that young. Top drawer. Now this has become the overflow stuff. Overflow, Allens, sockets. Only special things I've got in here are my big 3/4 sockets and my clutch alignment tool for an Eaton. That's really all that's happened in this top drawer. This used to be my wrench drawer. Now it's just became a spare gasket for a PTO, random miscellaneous bolts, nuts, some drill bits, and a bunch of snap ring plier heads.
And you started out with this toolbox first, right?
Yep. This is the first. I had a little Craftsman, but I immediately grew out of it the more tools I purchased.
So what you're saying is you didn't spend a whole lot of money on Snap-on shit before you decide to, you know what I'm saying, make it big, right?
Yeah, just start with the small stuff, man. You don't need crazy stuff. You don't need all the Snap-on or anything like that. Just what I say to people is buy the cheap stuff. When that stuff breaks, then buy the expensive. Or if you have to borrow something more than 2 or 3 times, buy it yourself.
That's it.
Used to be a personal drawer where I keep good old fancy gold icon ratchet.
Yeah, let's tell people about that ratchet real quick.
I bought this thing. Let's open it up. I bought this thing about 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago. And how many times have you actually used this tool?
Never once. Ever. I have never used this ratchet. It looks too nice. I've scuffed it up a couple times by dropping it, but just take it out of its box and look at it.
Yeah.
It looks it's a beautiful ratchet. Feels great, but I'm saving it for that one thing. I don't know what it is yet. There's that one thing I'm going to use it for. Rest of in here is just I got my DOT physical stuff, some warning labels for that headlight recall and the Freightliners, a little inventory of what I have, pocket screwdriver, pins, tire valve core remover, just a bunch of little miscellaneous stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
Down here is my little electrical drawer. I don't see the point in buying a whole cart unless you're doing serious electrical jobs, so this little drawer is what I got.
Right.
On this, I got some Snap-on leads on a little Walmart digital multimeter. This one has not let me down. I want to get a Fluke, but nobody wants to pay $1,000 for a multimeter. This thing has been perfectly fine for me. I have air chuck and a pressure gauge, just for doing any PDIs, DOTs, and all that stuff. That's the reason I have those. That little 3-piece Snap-on set right here. It was one of the first purchases I bought whenever I worked doing electrical on trailers.
How much did that run you?
I think whenever I bought that, it was about $250.
$250.
Yep.
Now you know how I feel about that. I just go to Harbor Freight and get something for $25, $30.
I'd recommend that. I use these flush cuts all the time, but these crimpers I don't use much. These strippers I don't use much anymore. I don't do as much electrical as I used to.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and go to the Snap-on box, because I'm sure this is where all the tools is at. This is the people want to see right here. This is the after you've been doing it for a while and now you upgraded box.
This is the debt box. I'll say that. This is there's a lot of debt in this box.
Right.
But this top area on this box, underneath the flip top, I have all of my sockets that I mainly use. Special things in here. I have a caging bolt, Snap-on caging bolt, or caging socket bolt. Caging bolt socket, there we go.
Right.
And it's just for caging brake chambers. Use it all the time. 5/8, 8-point, doing any differentials and stuff on a tractor trailer or a tractor. That's for that fill bolt. Keep my lights over here. A pin, pocket screwdriver, a knife, and a little telescopic mirror.
Okay.
On this side is mainly 3/8 ratchets. I have a long handle 3/8 flex head.
What's that? Is that Snap-on or?
Yes, all of these are Snap-on except for this 1/2 inch. This is Walmart. I don't use a small 1/2 inch much. But long handle 3/8, kind of medium length handle, locking 3/8, locking flex head. This is a little stubby 3/8. I don't use this as much. I consider this a waste of money. Of course, that 1/2 inch. This one is another medium length, comfort grip, flex head. This one right here, it's a little bit difficult to get out. This is kind of a shorter handle, 3/8, and then I have 2 1/4 inches, a long handle 1/4 inch, and a lock and flex head with a quick release 1/4 inch.
Okay.
Nobody likes trying to grab a socket off a 1/4 inch ratchet.
Yeah.
With greasy hands.
Right.
Now I've got some Mac Torx socket set. I have the long ones just because I don't need the short ones that much, and I've used these all the time. Very useful. Underneath those, I have a Sunex 6-point 1/2 inch socket set, and that goes all the way from 3/8 up to 1.5 inches. I've lost one. Thankfully, I don't use it much.
Yeah.
But this has been very useful. If you need 1/2 inch sockets, I highly recommend this little kit.
Yep.
For some Icon picks, Icon's a good brand. I haven't had any issue with any of my Icon tools.
Right.
Big socket for driving in pilot bearings in a flywheel and a tractor. This is actually a pilot bearing that I use as a stud installer and a hub.
A real mechanic can make tools out of anything.
It works. It works. And then this is a socket I just use for fuel filters and oil filters on a DD series motor.
Is that 12 point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, sockets, I keep all my extensions back here in a big old pile. I need to figure out some place to put those, but they just stay in a pile.
It works.
Yep. Got a little short handle, 1/4 inch. I say short handle, it's about the standard length handle for a 1/4 inch Snap-on flex head.
Yeah.
And I have a little stubby 1/4 inch Snap-on flex head.
That's nice to have.
It's very nice to have. And then one of my favorite little tools, use it all the time. It's dirty for a reason.
Oh,
this indexing head Snap-on ratchet.
This is my favorite ratchet right here. He's the reason why I just spent $190 on my very own multiple position ratchet. So
this thing right here is a lifesaver. Doing starters, mainly I want to use it for is doing transmissions.
Right.
This you can reach all the way around a bell housing and be able to get those once you break it loose. Use it like that. Very useful ratchet to have.
Definitely worth it.
Love it. Very worth it. I just continue on what I got left in this drawer is just my pry bars. I have a set of 4 Snap-on pry bars with blue handles. I haven't used this little one yet, but the rest of them I have used a lot.
Yeah.
Next two are those two right there. Very useful pry bars. Don't get the expensive ones though. I used to have a set of Pittsburghs and they worked just fine.
Yep.
And finally, big 36-inch pry bar with a black handle.
Yeah.
Use this mainly for doing airbags on a trailer, trying to stick under there, pry it down, pull it out.
Like you said, stick with your affordable first. These are the type of pry bars you get when you got money.
Yeah.
That's the
Or bad decisions.
Yeah, or bad decision making. That's how you get those.
This top drawer in this is mainly just basic wrenches that if I need just a normal wrench, I will go to this drawer and grab. I also keep a big flex head 1/2 inch Snap-on extra long handle in this drawer. I use this all the time, especially for doing filters on a DD series motor. Just very useful ratchet to have. Breaking off any big nut that's stuck. Stick this on there. If this won't break it off, stick a cheater pipe over this. If it breaks, it's got a warranty.
Is it?
Why not? Blue point stubby ratcheting wrenches, reversible ratcheting wrenches. I kind of regret buying those. I don't use them as much as I should. Normally, if I need a stubby wrench, I cut an old one in half. Down here is an add-on to the wrench drawer. I have some Icon flex ratcheting wrenches. Very useful wrenches. I use these every day. and they are some good wrenches.
Oh yeah. Harbor Freight got good stuff.
Harbor Freight does have good stuff.
They stepped it up.
I have some Mac crescent wrenches or adjustable wrenches if you want to be fancy. And I use these all the time. I kind of regret buying the Mac ones though. In my opinion, if you want to go crescent wrenches, I would get the SnapOn.
Yeah.
SnapOn, yeah, it's more expensive. They're very expensive, but they work well and they are extra wide mouth. So I believe they're 6-inch, which is about the size of this. Can open up to almost the width that this one can open up. And this is way bigger. I've got an old Klein Tools crescent wrench with a drop punch. One of my favorite tools just because it looks cool and it's old.
Yeah. And you would think you would never need nothing like that, but that actually, this part here actually comes in handy quite a bit. That little end point right there. So, yeah, I like that.
These are an old set of bolt cutters that I've repurposed into a set of crimpers for batteries, for battery cables. I just took a torch, blew through it right there, put my brass crimper on, put my brass over the wire, crimp it down. Works just fine. Don't need no fancy big wire crimpers or anything like that. That works perfectly fine. Got some Icon stubby flex ratcheting wrenches. Don't use these that much, but whenever I do use them, they come in handy.
Yeah.
And then
they look pretty.
They do look pretty. Speaking of looking pretty.
Oh yeah.
SnapOn.
This better look pretty.
Yeah. Expensive, I tell you. This is a 14-piece angled open-end wrench set in standard, and I just recently picked up this set. Very expensive set.
Oh yeah.
But very useful also. Goes all the way from 3/8 to 1 1/4. Doesn't skip a size in standard, unless you're talking about 30 seconds, which nobody really uses 30 seconds that much.
Right.
Down one more drawer, I have just screwdrivers, hose picks, which I wouldn't get this 6 set if you're going to go fancy. I know Icon sells a kit that is just like this for about $80. Yep. I would get that set. This was about $250 to $300, and it's the exact same thing. Only difference is the handles.
Yep.
Now I've got a big SnapOn screwdriver kit right here. It's Phillips and flathead. Again, I wouldn't get this, especially in this foam. This foam is expensive, and SnapOn knows. So if you get some of that foam, you're paying a price for that foam, and it is ridiculous.
Hell yeah. The foam is nice though.
It looks great. Yeah. Whenever
it just ain't nice to your pocketbooks.
Yeah, whenever it hits your wallet, it's not so great. Over on this side, I've just got some little air hammer chisels, or air hammer bits. I have a center punch, a flat. Mainly, I use this for driving out studs or anything that needs to be bent back straight, and then a long chisel bit.
Okay.
And then my sacrificial screwdrivers, these get bent, hammered on, tortured. They still work great. They're Max. But, hey, they work great. Hey, look at the tip on that one. She has had a rough life.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a Cornwell scraper I found underneath the truck.
The best tools I have.
How long it was there. Best tools are the free tools. And I use this all the time, scraping off gaskets. And I just recently picked this up. I got it for Brass Fitness. This is a little extractor kit.
I think that just came up with this, huh? A new tool.
Just recently, I believe.
Yeah.
And I picked this sucker up. And it is very useful for getting out them little brass fittings that get stuck in valves.
Yeah.
And that is it for this drawer.
Cool.
Down one more. This is the remnants of the old plier drawer.
Right. That's why that's empty over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is any miscellaneous pliers I have. I have Snap-ons. I have Max. I have Astro. A lot of different brands in this drawer. Some key points of it are Snap-on 3-position needle nose, and these things are amazing. You ask any mechanic that has these, they love these.
Yeah.
Those are highly worth it. I believe Icon just came out with a version of their own for that, though.
Yep.
But mainly, this is just pliers, needle nose. I got some good old Irwin vice grips in here. The word is not in my mind right now. Snap ring pliers, that's it.
Yeah.
Bunch of different snap ring pliers, precision pliers, and some hose clamp pliers. Those come in handy very much. And then down here, we have hammers, some extra little pry bars. These are my race punches, and some cheater pipes. Big hammer, 56-ounce snap-on. Very useful hammer. I love this thing a lot. I mainly bought this just to hit drums, doing brakes on semi-trucks. Because that drum, after you back off them brakes, that drum gets stuck. Gives one big whack with this and breaks them free. So smaller hammers, I got a 3-pound and a 2.5 pound. One of these, this is from Harbor Freight. This one, I don't even remember where I got it. I believe I bought this one from a coworker.
Don't try on buying used tools.
Yeah. And then little Harbor Freight ball peen.
Yep.
Needs a new handle, but the head is still fine. But I've used this thing way more than it should. Dead blow, and then I got some Sun-X ladies' foot pry bars. Very useful little things. I use them all the time. I think I paid probably about $40 for that 4-piece set.
That's a good set.
That was the first ever snap-on tool I bought. This is a pry bar with a notch cut out of it specifically for a spring, doing on drum brakes on a semi-truck.
Okay.
People that know, you got 2 small springs and 1 large spring. You put them small springs on it, you clamshell your brakes over, stick this in that big spring and bring it and hook it up.
Yep.
Hook it in place. Very useful little pry bar. I don't use it much anymore because I've learned an easier way to do brakes. And then these are the biggest waste of money I've ever seen. These right here is a set of race punches from Mac. Now, I like Mac tools when they work. These things, I think I paid $250 for them, and first time I used them, the ends immediately chipped on them, and I hit my hand. These things gave me hell for 3 straight days.
That's fine.
And I regret buying these so much. I should have bought a cheaper brand if they were going to make me that angry. But I have them. Why not? Now the big boy drawer.
Oh yeah, this is the drawer I've been waiting on right here.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
In this drawer, I have my impacts and air tools. Now this one is the expensive stuff. I have a CT9080 snap-on in gunmetal. This was the second half-inch impact I ever bought from Snap-on. First thing I bought was an air impact. Now, I had an air impact, it was in gunmetal gray, just like this one, and I use that thing all the time. But then you got to drag that air hose around, and it just kind of gets in the way when you're working on the trailers.
Right.
So I bought this one, and it has not let me down. This thing will break lug nuts off. It's a half-inch drive, but it's the size of a 3/4. This thing is huge.
Yeah.
There's no reason for an impact to be this huge, which is why I bought the next one.
Before you keep going,
Yeah.
just an estimate. How much is this one drawer right here? Like
Estimate?
in net worth, right? How much is this one drawer worth?
Well, I can tell you one thing. These 2 impacts each cost $1,000 for the kit.
Yeah, each.
Ooh, that's hard. I'd probably say about 35, $4,000.
About 35 what?
3,500 to $4,000.
3,500 to $4,000. So it's about 4 G's in this drawer alone.
And that's being conservative with it.
That's Keep going.
But after I got that 9080, I realized it was huge, bulky, hurt my arm to use. It shakes like crazy, so I bought a 9050. Snap-on says this is a mid-torque impact. This is the size of a Milwaukee high torque.
Yeah, it is.
So, but it has a ton of power. bright LED on the front, but again, that $1,000 price tag, you would hope you get what you pay for, and in this one I feel like you do, but I would recommend getting the Milwaukee.
Yep.
More power, same size, and a whole lot cheaper.
Right. I like Snap-on tools, but the power tools, you know, I guess it's perspective, but it's kind of overhyped. I wouldn't say overhyped, overpriced. Like that.
Mainly overpriced. Now I feel like Snap-on recently has come back with their power tools, and they have really gotten good with them. Now they're actually a contender. They used to just be the laughing stock.
Yeah.
Now they're a contender again, but you pay that price for that Snap-on name.
Yep, that's it.
After that one, I've got a 1/2-inch chuck drill. This is an old brushless model. They just recently came out with a new... Now, this is the old brushed model. They just recently came out with a new brushless. It's smaller, but I just prefer the look of these old brush models, and it works just fine.
Yep.
So, I don't see me replacing this anytime soon. It works perfectly fine for what I need it to do. I got a full body 3/8. I found this one at a pawn shop that Mr. Joe here sent me a picture of.
Yeah.
And I saw it was the gunmetal gray. At the time, this color was brand new, so I knew this thing wasn't used much, and I only paid $300 for this, 2 batteries, and a charger.
Yep. I saw it and was like, yeah, I think Skylar gonna like this. I wasn't about to get it. You can catch me, even though catch me trapped in Snap-on. Not yet, anyways.
I got to work immediately, did my hour lunch, and I went and bought it. Now, after that one, I've got this little, I think this is a CT761. I can't really see the part number anymore because I've used it so much.
Yeah.
This thing right here is the first impact I ever bought from Snap-on. A little 3/8, battery powered. This is the old brush model, and this thing's a lifesaver. I highly recommend this little dual trigger. Even if you're not a Snap-on person, I recommend getting one of these.
Yeah, I would definitely get one. Yeah.
Just because you have the convenience of the dual trigger, and it's really skinny.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't call this a stubby. It's
Nah,
not a Milwaukee stubby where it's that only that big. This is an everyday carry, I'd say.
So show them that dual trigger. Better view of that dual trigger. Yeah, just show them how it kind of moves.
Dual trigger is if you hold it like this, your middle finger make it go in reverse, index finger make it go forward.
Yep.
So it's real simple to just break it loose.
Yep.
Put it back on.
Yeah, it's nice.
Now, we get into a little bit of the air tools. I have this old, I wouldn't say old, it's a relatively newer model, Mac 3/4 impact that I regret buying. I don't use it much, and I cannot find a fitting that fits in it. So I have this conglomeration of brass fittings.
It seems like you regret buying Mac a lot.
I'm not a big fan of Mac, I'll say that now. I used to love Mac, but they have screwed me over too many times.
Yeah.
But I bought this thing. I got it for a hefty discount. It was a trade-in on the Snap-on truck. Somebody bought it and immediately traded it in. Didn't even use it. So I got it for a nice discount from what it actually retails for. But I think I've used it maybe once or twice. And it didn't fail the lug nut test. I mean, it failed the lug nut test. So
really?
It did fail the lug nut test.
Wow.
And that CT9080 passed it. So why would I reach for a 3/4 when the 1/2-inch will do it?
Yep.
I have the old Snap-on air hammer everybody and their mother loves. I got this thing. This is the only green tool I have, and it's the only green tool I will own.
Yeah, I hate green.
I hate it. But, funny story with this is I went on a Snap-on truck, told them I needed an air hammer. They only had a green one on the truck. I said I wanted a red one, and that is all I wanted. I wanted a red or black. They called all around different dealers. They didn't have one. They didn't have one in their warehouse.
Yeah.
So he told me, if you get the green one today, I'll throw in 2 free air hammer bits. That is the only reason I have this green air hammer.
Yeah.
But this thing has about the most power you can want. I believe the Matco one does have a little bit more power. But I'd recommend, instead of getting this one, I would probably get the Chief at Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
It has just as much power. Only issue is that you don't have much control over the trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, word of advice, do not walk on to a truck, especially Snap-on, unless you plan on buying something.
Yes.
Because our Snap-on guy here, shout out to Slade. If you see this, shout out to Slade, because Slade can sell you a piece of trash, and you'll be ready to buy it.
That man can sell a pencil to a pencil fountain. I swear. This thing right here, an old mechanic gave me this. His name is Mr. Paul. This is an old little butterfly impact. This is a 3/8. This is for your minute work. Little, I think it's maybe like 90 foot-pounds max.
Yeah.
But this thing is the loudest little impact you'll ever use.
Yeah. You rarely see those kind, but I've seen, I forgot where I saw it, but I saw something like that. They still sell it, just...
They do still
you
sell it.
rarely see it.
The only time you'll really see these is in small engine work, motorcycles, little lawnmowers and stuff like that. That's the main time you'll see these.
Yep.
After that, I've got my 2 die grinders. I have a 90. I think this is a half-horse Matco. I hated this thing at first just because this little locking ring in here, it's threaded. It kept backing out whenever I was using it. This little ring gave me so much hell for the first 3 weeks. I put some red Loctite on it and stuck a screwdriver in there and hammered it tight. It hasn't backed out yet.
Really?
So, hey, if it works,
right.
It works. This right here is a little snap-on. I think this is a 3rd horse die grinder. And I bought it not realizing what it was supposed to be used for. I just needed a straight die grinder because I had this one first. I should have got a half horse because this is mainly for plastics and small body panels.
Yeah.
I'm trying to cut through 1/2-inch steel with this. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Last 2 in this drawer are your electric ratchets, your most controversial tools on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody thinks you can break bolts loose with these.
Yeah.
These are not an impact.
Exactly.
These are ratchets.
Right.
I have a 1/4 short neck and a 3/8 long neck.
Okay.
Both of these I use every day. Look how dirty they are.
Yep.
I just recently picked this one up for a hefty discount because it's the old brush model. Everybody wants the brushless. Nobody wants the brushed. I like the brush because this is brushed.
Yep.
If it ain't let me down yet, when would I upgrade?
That's it.
But that's about it. Only things left is my 2 creepers. I have 2. One is old Pittsburgh. This is my first creeper I bought. I only use this now to roll around drive shafts on.
Yep.
If I drop a drive shaft underneath the truck, then things are heavy and they will kill you if they fall on it. So I just drop it on this, push it around so it don't scratch up the floor. And then I have a snap-on low profile with an adjustable headrest. I use this all the time. I need a low profile because I'm of the heavier weight variety. So this thing is a lifesaver.
Alrighty.
That's about it.
Alright, well you saw it here, folks. I appreciate you, Scholar.
Oh, it is.
That's my boy Skyler's Toolbox here. Hey, you saw it here, folks. As always, be easy.